Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm going to tell you my wife's sleep apnea story. It's probably similar to yours. By the end of this short but revealing video, you'll learn 3 sleep apnea treatments that don't involve CPAP and have been proven to cure sleep apnea. This presentation will not be up for long, so please take the next couple of minutes to view it. My introduction to sleep apnea began on the night of August 26, 2007. My wife and I were asleep in bed, and something happened that would change my life forever. At 2 a.m. that evening, my wife abruptly sat up, gasping for air. It was as if she was dreaming about being chased. Suddenly, she sat bolt upright in bed. She was choking for air and completely disoriented. She didn't know where she was. That incident was repeated many times in the coming months. Every night, her breath stopped and she was gasping for air. What we didn't know at the time was that my wife had the classic symptoms of sleep apnea. But my wife's problems didn't stop at night. During the day, she was chronically fatigued, sometimes falling asleep just by sitting down on the couch. I was so concerned about her constant tiredness that I was scared she was going to crash our car. We both knew it wasn't natural to be so tired all the time, not to mention the gagging while asleep. But at the time, we didn't even know about sleep apnea. We were soon to find out many surprising facts about this silent killer. When my wife started showing symptoms of a health condition, I started digging, and what I found was pretty shocking. The more I looked for solutions, the more I found only one solution prescribed for sleep apnea: CPAP. But it was clear that many of the websites promoting CPAP are owned by CPAP manufacturers. I started asking around online chat groups to see if anyone knew of alternative sleep apnea treatments. In other words, anything but CPAP. I was usually told that CPAP might be terrible, but, quote unquote, it's the best we've got. But in my research, I also found some little known facts about CPAP. Fact number 1. Most doctors automatically prescribe CPAP for sleep apnea. Fact number 2. Many doctors are unaware of other sleep apnea treatments besides CPAP. Fact number 3. Up to 50% of sleep apnea sufferers stop using their CPAP within 3 months. Fact number 4. A large percentage of sleep apnea sufferers are looking for an alternative to CPAP. You're probably reading this letter because you're in the same situation I was in 2 years ago. You're tired of being tired all the time. Days are a blur. You wake up foggy-headed, probably cranky. You survive the day with lots of caffeine. And yet for all your efforts, your life is still probably how it was for my wife. Chronically fatigued, falling asleep during the day, sometimes in embarrassing places. But you suffer not from lack of trying. You've asked your doctor for a solution, but his only suggestion is the dreaded CPAP. Let me tell you something. You're not alone. CPAP simply doesn't work for everyone. Many people have told me that they have been on CPAP for months with no relief in their AHI. It's not just that CPAP is ineffective for some people. CPAP users suffer countless problems when using the machine. Headaches, ear pressure, nasal congestion, dry mouth, sinus problems, claustrophobia, and the list goes on. Now, I'm sure you've had this thought before. Why is it so important to cure my sleep apnea? I just want to get a better night's sleep so I don't feel so groggy during the day. Can't I just take some pills so I can get a better night's sleep and get on with my life? The fact is, sleep apnea can kill you eventually. Here's what Dr. Michael J. Tweary says. He's director of the National Center on Sleep Disorders Research. Quote, "Sleep apnea is not a condition that kills you acutely. It is a condition that erodes your health over time." Here are just a few of the side effects of sleep apnea. High blood pressure, liver damage, diabetes, kidney failure, stroke, heart failure. Now, if the information I've provided in this presentation so far has made you depressed, please don't be. I'm not a person who gives up easily, and you're about to benefit from that tenacity. You see, as I dove into the world of sleep apnea treatments, one thing became clear. CPAP information is everywhere, but there's precious little information on the internet about other apnea treatments. So I did what any good researcher does. I dug deeper, harder, and wider. I spent hours and hours scouring the internet and calling doctors, specialists, and other health practitioners. My online research and telephone calls around the world led me to individuals who have completely cured their sleep apnea. These people threw away their CPAP a long time ago and haven't looked back. Some of them found their alternative sleep apnea treatment by luck. Others found a cure through dogged determination. I interviewed these survivors, and you're about to benefit from their experiences. I interviewed 9 people who cured their sleep apnea through alternative treatments. You'll find case studies of those 9 people in my ebook. Here are 3 ways they cured their sleep apnea and threw away their CPAP. Alternative sleep apnea treatment number 1, singing therapy. That's right, I said singing therapy. As you probably know, sleep apnea occurs when your airway closes while you're asleep. Singing therapy increases the muscle tone of your airway, so your muscles don't relax as much when you fall asleep and your airway stays open. Alternative sleep apnea treatment number 2, acupuncture. Acupuncture also works to keep your airway open, but unlike singing therapy, you don't do any of the work. Your acupuncturist does. Acupuncture keeps your airway open by stimulating a muscle called the genioglossus. The end result? An open airway. Alternative sleep apnea treatment number 3, didgeridoo therapy. Now at this point you're probably thinking, what the heck is a didgeridoo? A didgeridoo is an ancient wind instrument that has been used for centuries by Australian Aborigines. Here's a picture of one. Didgeridoo therapy works like singing. It strengthens your throat muscles. Fascinating, isn't it? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Before diving into the world of sleep apnea treatments, I had no idea there were so many proven alternatives to CPAP. All of those treatments are described in detail in my ebook called Cure Your Sleep Apnea Without CPAP, 9 Survivors Tell Their Story. Here's just a sample of what's in the book. 9 case studies of men and women who have completely cured their sleep apnea without CPAP. 7 types of alternative treatments that are proven to cure sleep apnea, with detailed descriptions of each. 12 action steps for each alternative treatment, so you know exactly how to take action on each treatment. 7 quick fix sleep treatments that can help you get a better night's sleep tonight. 78 pages of actionable information on alternative non-CPAP sleep apnea treatments. In other words, all meat and no fluff. Here's what some people have said about Cure Your Sleep Apnea Without CPAP. Mark, I have now printed out your book. It is wonderful. Thank you. L. Pierce from Sydney, Australia. Mark, your treatment guide on sleep apnea is very useful and full of great research. Thanks for the notes and guidance on apnea. P. Kulkarni, India. I purchased your book a few weeks ago. I've read it all, including the bonus ebook Overcoming Insomnia. What else to say but merci beaucoup. P. Talbot, Montreal, Canada. Now remember, I have spent the past 3 years researching in-depth sleep apnea treatments that don't use CPAP. And now I run a website that is the #1 site on Google for sleep apnea treatments. My site receives visitors from 104 countries around the world every month. Here's what's great. You don't have to wait more than 1 minute to get all the information I've collected over the past 3 years. Please click the button below to get started on a new path, a path that cures your sleep apnea and doesn't involve CPAP. You'll also get some really neat bonuses, but only for a limited time. Here are the bonuses you'll get. You'll get my ebook, Overcoming Insomnia, which is a $29.95 value, but you'll get it free today. You'll also get my ebook, Good Sleep Hygiene, which is also a $29.95 value, for free. Finally, you'll get free 101 counseling with me for 3 months by email. This is valued at $197, and it's also free with your purchase. But there are only a few spots left. And your purchase is covered by my no-hassles, ironclad, 60-day money-back guarantee. Use my guide for 60 days, and if you aren't absolutely satisfied, just send me a quick email saying, refund please, and you'll get your money back. Compare this to the cost of CPAP. And I'm not just talking about the financial cost. More important is the emotional cost of having to use CPAP night after night after night. Take action right now. Click the button below and let's get started.